Good afternoon, everybody. Well, we finally got some rain. Last night it started, and we definitely need it, but we got, must be a million acorns all over the yard here, like marbles, sliding all over the place. I'm going to give you an update on our cat Sammy. He's improving quite a bit, but he is impossible to pill up. We pilled him up last night. My wife actually pilled him up, and I held him over my shoulder. And he took the pill the first time. Last night, he was fighting, clawing, and everything else, and not vicious, but just even though his nails were trimmed at the vet, and he kept rejecting the pill. It was just on the floor. You think you got it, and you find it on the floor, and they're real tiny. The steroid and the antibiotic. We just can't pill him up. It's impossible. So I thought we were going to be okay with that because he's so gentle, and he is still very gentle. One thing you don't want to do is to stress a cat out so much that they get to hate you for pilling them up. They'll avoid you. This happened with our black cat Snoopy. My wife used to have to pill him up, and he would never go near her anymore. I never wanted to stress the cat out, and I never knew how to open their mouth and do it. I'd do the holding, but at that time I was on second shift, and I wasn't around to pill him up anyways for most of the time. So he got to dislike my wife because of that, and I don't want this to happen. You force it down. We had to do it like 4 times last night. And finally we gave up, and I stopped by the vet this morning, and it says it's impossible for us to pill him up. And he needs his pills for 10 days, and it's impossible. So what they're going to do, and they're going to charge like everything else. We got a huge bill now. I think it's like $4 to pill him up. They asked if we could bring him in at 4:45 every day. I don't know about the weekend. They're not open on the weekends. And bring him in, and they'll pill him up. But they're going to do both at the same time. They're supposed to be 12 hours apart, but she's going to do both the steroid, which is Prozac, I think. I never can remember what the medication is. My wife has to keep reminding me what it is. I have a mind that just, I don't know, if it's not electronic, it just don't work. So anyways, they're going to do it all at 4:45. They close at 5, so we got to crate him up and bring him down to the vet at 4:45 every day. I don't know about Friday. They close early Friday, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Another method that they suggested that they could use for the antibiotic is they have something they put on the ear, and gets the antibiotic in them that way. But the problem is the cats are grooming themselves. They lick it off. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So that's the agenda. Otherwise, he's doing very good. He is very vocal and does an awful lot of meowing, but not because he's in pain. He's purring. He wants to go out. We're trying to keep him from going out. Although yesterday was a nice day, and we let him out on the porch for a while, and he sat on the porch. He watches the birds, and he laid down on the ground near my workbench there. Of course, it wasn't raining then. This was during the day. But I didn't let him out at night, and I did not let him out last night. And he was very good, very lovable. He stayed with me all night on the bed by my feet. Then he nudges my arm and wakes me up in the middle of the night. He wants to be petted. He's very lovable. And he's a very gentle cat. He puts his paw on my forehead like this. Very gentle. He's not an aggressive cat. And we don't want to make him an aggressive cat by forcing pills into him. There are some cats you can pill up, and some it's impossible. So unfortunately, the vets are going to have to deal with that, and they usually have a couple of people there to deal with that, and I guess they're used to it. And sometimes it's kind of brutal where they force their mouth open, and it's one thing getting the pill in. We got the pill shooter. That's $10, $11 to buy the pill shooter from the vet. But we love the cat. When you got a pet, it's part of the family, and and that's it. You're not going to let them die if you can help it. But by the same token, it's impossible to keep that cat in the house because he was an outside cat when we found him out in the yard here one winter, a couple of months after Snoopy had to have Snoopy put down because of cancer. This Sammy is very healthy. He just got a parasite from a flea, which he probably had consumed by biting himself and everything. Although there's no fleas on him that I could see, and we put the flea medication on. We used the Advantage Plus. At the vet, they used Frontline, and Frontline did nothing. It protects for the ticks, but he was loaded with fleas a few years ago. So we get the Advantage Plus, and we get that online. It's cheap, a little bit cheaper than the vet, not much. So that's very good. He's got no fleas. I comb him, and he has nothing. But the vet says that he does have some fleas, so I don't know. But anyways, that's the update on him. He's very good. He's eating better, much better. And we tried the pill capsules, the treat where you put the pill in. And last night he ate one, but I had to come over to the bed on a paper plate and put it under his chin. And he touched it a little bit, and I had to keep, getting him to coax him to get him. So he consumed his antibiotic last night. But it didn't work this morning. So that was when I went to the vet, and I waited till they opened at 9 o'clock and got, they told us that's what they're going to do is give them both antibiotics, the antibiotic and the steroid at 4:45 every day. So I guess it must be okay, because before that they said do it every 12 hours. So if you pill them up at 9 a.m., you got to pill them up at 9 p.m. And, they said as close as you can, to that schedule. But they're going to do it once a day, and I don't know what's going to happen for the weekend. So that's the story on Sammy.